Hey y'all, let's make an apron. So I got the It's So Easy by Simplicity pattern A1056 from Walmart. They're always $1.97. Then you're also going to need 1.5 yards of fabric, cotton, and you're also going to need 9 yards of your bias tape, the extra wide double fold. Alright, go ahead and cut out your pattern according to the pattern instructions, and then starting with our pocket, we need to add our bias tape. So you're going to cut a piece the length of the top part of the pocket, sit that fabric inside, and then go ahead and sew it on the top of the pocket. Now if you want to, you can make 2 pockets, just cutting out the pocket piece twice. Okay, so we got that sewed. I'm going to take off any extra threads that got caught up under there and clip that. Next, what you're going to do is take another piece of your double fold bias tape, and you're going to have to kind of measure it and then curve it, or kind of dry lay it out to curve around the bottom edge of your pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and open that up. So that's, so you see how the double fold goes. I'm going to fold down the edge so I have a nice clean finished edge on that. And then I'm going to sit the pocket inside of that and then pin it so it'll stay. And then continue to fold that double wide bias tape all the way around the edge of my pocket, the bottom edge of my pocket. Right, now come over to the machine. This time you're going to sew it a little bit slower because you're going to need to kind of let that that bias tape curve around. So take your time with this. And then when you get to the other side, you want to fold that piece down as well before you sew it so that you have a nice finished top of the edge. Now what I like to do to give me that nice smooth finish is go ahead and iron each piece after I'm done with it. So now I have my pocket. Alright, next with the skirt part of the apron, I'm going to go ahead and attach my pocket where I want it laid out. The pattern does, show you where the pocket should be placed, but this is really up to you and your preference. So I'm just going to put a couple pins in it. And then I'm going to head to the sewing machine and sew on my pocket just on the U-shaped part of the pocket, not across the top, of course, because I need to be able to get my hand in it, right? And so what you're going to do is sew directly on top of the seam that you already used to attach the bias tape. So take your time to make sure you get this right. And I am going to backstitch at the top of either side because generally with your hand going in and out of the pocket, you want to make sure it's secure. Alright, so now we have our neck straps or shoulder straps. So what you want to do is, again, taking your bias tape, and you're going to measure that on the inside. So lay them out so they kind of make a U shape so you know that you're doing it on the right side or in the correct edge. And so go ahead and measure out your your bias tape on the inside, and then you're going to go ahead and sew that. Next, we're working on the bib. So you also need to use bias tape on that. So measure out a piece to go across the middle to make that little decorative piece, a little decorative strip across the middle of the bib of the apron. Okay, and now you're going to go ahead and sew those on the sewing machine. Just sew straight across the bib placement, and then go ahead and attach that bias tape to the neck straps. Okay, so what you need to do now is take your neck straps, flip your bib over, and lay them on the inside so that they curve inward. Okay, so put them on the edges and then go ahead and pin them down. Now sew across the top using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Alright, with that bib in the shoulder strap still folded down, take another piece of bias tape, run it across the top, and then attach it, and then you're going to sew that on as well. Okay, so just slide it down on top of there. Now go ahead and sew across that top edge. Next, you need to attach the bottom of the bib part to the skirt. So you're going to match your notches in the middle. Kind of have to fit it in because it is curved, and go ahead and put in a lot of pins just to be sure to secure it. Okay, so now you're just going to go ahead and sew those two pieces together. So you're sewing the skirt to the upper bib, sewing just at the waist part, not across the straps. And what I actually did was I did a 5/8 seam allowance, and then I came in again and did a 1/4 inch seam allowance, because I just wanted that doubled, the seam to really be strong right in. Now go ahead and iron the bib up along with that seam allowance. And make sure you, get it real good and real flat to make it a really nice finished apron. Alright, so your final step is going to be to put your bias tape around the entire perimeter of the apron. But you're going to need to attach or connect more than one piece, right? So this is how you attach bias tape so that you have a nice clean finish. Okay, so you put it over one over the other. Kind of cross or catty corner, I guess you could say, and then you're going to sew at a diagonal, right? So you see how I'm laying them right side to right side, and then where you see my finger, that's where your seam is going to go, right? I got my seam in there. I'm going to cut off the excess, and then when I fold it up, you're going to see how nice it's going to lay flat. See? And then just fold it back in half. And now we're going to attach this around the full perimeter of the apron. So determine how long you want your tie straps, and you're going to let that part hang off the edge of the apron. Then you're going to attach the rest of the bias tape to that outer edge of the entire apron, including your side straps. And then just sew all the way around, but be sure to take your time. As you're sewing along, make sure that your fabric of the apron is pushed all the way inside the fold of that double bias tape, just so that you're not missing any edges. You don't want any of that, any holes in between the bias tape and the apron. And just keep on sewing till you get all the way around the entire outer edge of your apron, including the straps. And voila, you're all done. I promise you'll be the cutest thing in the kitchen. Use vibrant colors to really make your apron stand out. Thanks for watching.